So for this question, Maria owns a cheese factory, and the amount of cheese she makes in kilograms is given by this function, where P is the price that she sells it for. So we need to write down how many kilograms she sells if the price is 8. So that's basically asking for the value of Q when when P is 8, when the price is 8. So it's 882 minus 45 times 8. And then I can type that into my calculator if I want. 882 minus, and then I'm using the bracket function there, 45 times 8, and it's 522. So she sells 522 kilograms of cheese. Always make sure that you've got your units there as well. And then the next one is she's earning P minus 6.8 euros per kilogram of cheese that she's sold. How much money is she making if the price is 8? So we can take the previous answer, we've got the 522. And she earns P minus 6.8. So P is 8 minus 6.8 per kilogram she's bought or she's sold. So it's 522, the amount of kilograms she's sold, multiplied by this 1.2 or 8 minus 6.8. And I can type that into the calculator. So 522 times 8 minus 6.8, and that gives me 626.4. Okay, and that's the profit that she's made, so that needs to be in the same currency as the previous question, so that is in euros. So we need to make sure we give context to our answer. And then to calculate her weekly profit, Maria multiplies the amount of cheese she sells by the amount she earns per kilogram. So I now need to multiply these two functions together. So that means that the profit, which she's given us as W, is equal to, and then we have the 882 minus 45p, which we were given first. And that needs to be multiplied by the profit, which we're told is P minus 6.8. So that is our new function. And again, you could multiply that out, but you don't need to. You can leave it in that form. So then finding the highest profit, I now need to plot the function of this new graph of W, which is the profit. And because we've got a P here and a P here, it's going to multiply together to make a P squared. So it's going to give me a quadratic with a maximum point for that maximum profit. So if I go to my function, I'm going to type in, so I have 882 minus 45. Now, when you're typing it into the calculator, you have to type it in with X. Okay, it can't be any other letter, so it does need to be X. So 882 times 45x minus 45x, and then we're timesing that by x minus 6.8. And if we go to the graph, we can see we have some sort of function. So we're going to need to change our window here. Now, we don't really know what we're looking for, so let's just change it to some larger values, and then we can play around from there. So you can see the x looks okay, but there's a midpoint here somewhere where it's curving round. So we obviously need to make the y coordinate much, much bigger. So let's try 200. So we're just playing around with the numbers. We're almost there. There we go, and we can see this maximum point. So we can now see the graph that we've formed. and it has this quadratic shape. So the maximum profit is going to be at this maximum point here. So to find that, I do second function calculator, and I'm looking for the maximum value. And I need to give my lower bound. So I'm just scrolling through. Here we go. So the lower bound, so the left value, and then the right side of it. And we press enter, and we can see there that the maximum point is at 13.2. And the Y value there is 1,843.2. So I've written that in kind of pencil, if you like, because I now need to convert that into my W and my P to make sense for the context of the question. So the W, the profit, and the profit value is that I make 1,843.20 euros. And you need to make sure that you've got 2 decimal places because it's money. And the X value is the price. So it's when the price of my cheese is 13.20. Again, 2 decimal places, euros. Okay, so it's where the profit is the maximum point. Okay, so when I sell my cheese at 13.20, then I make the biggest profit possible.